Yay Networks.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another gender reveal.
Literally what I was going to say. I was like, welcome to our gender reveal party. Team girl. Team
If you're
boy.
only hearing this, guys, I'm wearing all blue.
And I'm wearing all pink.
Literally. And it was just a coincidence.
Yes, it was. Because you know what? I have this set in gray. And then I remembered that last podcast I wore all gray too. So I decided to change into
I always wear the same thing, babe.
I know.
Y no me agüito.
It's okay.
No me agüito that one.
Anyways, guys, I did want to do a little disclaimer because I am so out of breath today. And so if you hear me taking a lot of deep breaths, that's why, okay?
If you hear me taking a lot of deep breaths, it's just because I'm fat. Just kidding, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in yet another week, another year for this beautiful podcast. We love you guys. And honestly, babe, you didn't know today's our 4-year anniversary?
Not today.
No, I'm kidding. I just made that up. Literally. We should find out when that first podcast. Okay, yeah. You talk and I'll figure it out.
I did want to go in and say thank you so much to all of you that commented on our last podcast. Thank you for all the sweet messages, all the love. It is just so crazy to see how many people have gone through miscarriages scares, and I think that it's just crazy because a lot of people have them but they don't talk about it. Like one of the reasons I hadn't talked about it was because I didn't feel like it was my place to talk about something that I didn't experience fully. And even though those 2 weeks were a really dark period of time where we didn't know if there was a baby or not, I think that that's why a lot of people don't talk about it too, because they don't feel like their experience is as deep as someone experiencing a full-on miscarriage. So I was just so glad to see how many people related to my story, and just the fact that there were so many comments saying that it could have been twins. And it's sad to think about, but I think that it's really nice that they told us, like, you just could never know. So when she said that, there's no other sac, there's no sign that there was another twin. So I'm just going to go with the fact that there wasn't another baby, because if not, that would be really sad. I'm going to go with the fact
that there was. When she's born, I'm going to be like, okay, tell us.
Why'd you kick her out? Yeah. But yeah, just thank you guys so much. But what did you find out?
Guys, our anniversary, I think it's going to be 4 years, is January 12th. Oh. No, it's going to be 3 years. Wait, what?
What, boy? Are you
Why does it say... Okay.
It'll be 4 years because when it turns January 12th.
Oh, 2024. Okay. I'm so dumb. I was like, why if it's 2023? Dumbass. Anyways. Yeah, 4 years, guys. January 12th. Yeah. Don't miss it. Biggest giveaway till date. I just made that up on the spot. But we just wanted to thank you. You know what? This podcast doesn't make a lot of money, to be honest with you. It's like more of a hobby. But we appreciate you so much that we're just going to do a big giveaway because it's our 4-year anniversary.
And just thank you for listening to us. You know, when you guys already watch us on other channels, you just listen to us for almost an hour every week. So thank you for that. And we'll come up with a good giveaway. I think that this one should not be just money. It should be like an actual, like, thank you basket, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure people want money.
I think that people, because when people do giveaways, like huge giveaways in TikTok, I do notice that a lot of people enter it because it's things that you may be wanting and you just don't buy them because you don't need them, you know? Yeah. So like you don't need 2 Stanley Cups, but if I'm going to give away a Stanley Cup, then
but it's like when your aunts give you socks and underwear and shirts and you just want money.
Babe, I'm pretty sure you have never complained getting socks or underwear or shirts.
No, but you know,
you're always like, oh yeah, I can
when you're little and your birthday, you want like all.
Okay, we're talking children, babe. Children want money.
Anyways, guys, it's time for a new segment. Just kidding. It's 1 week old. Business shout outs for this winter holidays. You know, a lot of people are starting up businesses. They're trying to make it out of the matrix, and we're here to shout you guys out. It doesn't matter if it's small, doesn't matter if it's your friends, your moms. We're here to shout out, okay?
So, and also because Black Friday is coming up. So, you know, a lot of businesses are having big sales, and probably the only sale of the year. So,
also, guys, please don't feel discouraged. Like if you sent one in last week, you know how our DMs like to act up, or you know how like they like to go into the hidden request, or they just get lost, or whatever happens, whatever. So just make sure every week, hasta que lo lea, okay? It's not annoying and it's not bad. You go ahead and DM us your business or your question or whatever you want, or your advice, whatever, every week until I open it, because I will. Like, and some people do it, okay? First business shout out. It's called... Okay. Hi, Spill the Beans. We would love to send you guys some items. However, our items are more to the religion side, such as La Virgen de Guadalupe. I would like to confirm, is that okay with you guys? And I said, hello. Yes, definitely. And you don't have to send us anything. We're more than happy to shout it out.
Oh, queen.
And it's, how do you say that, baby? I can't read.
Delays access. Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Give it back.
Yeah, but I'm pregnant.
Just okay. Delizas. Delizas. Oh, Delizas.
Hey there, Delilah.
Accessories. DALEYZA apostrophe S accessories.
We'll put the screenshot on the screen.
Oh yeah, definitely right here. Sorry, I don't know why I'm doing all that for nothing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But it's like little, from what I can tell, like accessories. Just kidding. Like, yeah, like virgencitas, dresses, like mini girls, like in quince dresses type of. That's awesome. Thank you. And then the next one was, this is my friend since pre-K. Since I can remember, she loves making jewelry and she's good at it too. She personalizes orders. I love her rear view mirror rosaries. I bought a bunch from her to gift to my family. She also makes my little girls bracelets and necklaces. That is so cute. Look, she literally has, it'll be right here, her baby with some bracelets. That's so cute. And the business is called JAIS. How would you pronounce that? J's? Okay. Creations. Perfect. From Nashville. But we'll put it right here, guys. Go, like, honestly, if you have $5, $10, whatever these items may cost laying around, and remember, we don't support Starbucks anymore. So if you're going to like spend it where you were going to spend on these things, then go spend it on these local businesses. You know what I mean? And then we got another one right here. Hello, currently watching the latest episode, and I thought I would reach out. I just started my small business. We do event rentals and design. I would love to be featured and also offer my services for your upcoming baby shower and other celebrations. My personal page is Elvia Robles G.
Elvia?
Oh. Elvia Robles G.
Elvia?
Okay, but her name is All Your Rentals.
Let me see.
_ like your as in you are rentals, but it'll be right here. Babe,
can I see? Are you good? Allure.
What? No.
Wait, because allure is
you
a
thought
name.
you ate with that one.
No, I'm not kidding. Wait, I'm gonna have to. Can you send me that screenshot so
Yeah,
I
of
can
course.
go talk to her? Yeah, guys, go ahead and go shop all these small businesses. I think that it's really nice. So, backtracking, I know I talk a lot about all the OG YouTubers I watch, but there's this one OG YouTuber I watch. Her name is Remy Ashton. And for all of her Vlogmas videos, she does Vlogmas every single year, day 1 through 25. And every single day on Vlogmas, she has a small business haul. So right now, like in November, she starts shopping a bunch of small businesses, and then she does a haul for all of them during Vlogmas. And I think that is so nice because, you know, there's these huge companies like Target, Zara, all these companies that like already make millions of dollars and have a bunch of employees. And then there's these small businesses that can give you the same quality, if not even better, because they spend more time on them. And you're helping out like a genuine family that needs it, you know? So,
hey, pues qué culpa tienen los employees?
No, I'm saying that, well, they're getting paid anyways. And like some of these small businesses invest so much money on their business, and you never know if you're going to make it back or in how long, you know? So
I just
that's what I'm
pictured
saying.
a Walmart guy in the aisle, like, you're like, all these businesses have all these employees.
Yeah, employees are getting paid,
Yeah,
and like these people aren't getting paid.
But it was just
Why
funny.
are you calling me out?
You know, like Family Guy cuts like to scenes.
Bro, who's mad?
Anyways, this last one, I wanted to give her a shout out because, guys, we're not like other influencers, okay? Spill the beans, ooh, spill the tea, ooh, clip it. No, I'm kidding. We do take your opinions and your positive criticism into consideration. And this girl just had an amazing idea for Vibe & Co. She said...
It's a water.
Oh. Leslie Manjares Ramon. Oh my God, I'm on no.
Yeah, please.
No, you know what, babe? Es que tengo que practicar mi español más, okay? Just a suggestion on your merch. Could you guys do some in Spanish, since there are some people that go through this bit but don't know English? That would be cool. Star emoji. That's amazing, guys. We obviously, there are a lot of people my mom talks to that get therapy that only speak Spanish. So that's the awesome thing about Vibin, is that if your mom, if your aunt, if your cousin, if your dad, if your brother need therapy, but they're, straight from Mexico and they only know Spanish, then guess what? We can help them as well, okay? We're bilingual over here.
Si estás leyendo esta camisa, estoy feliz que...
Si estás leyendo esta camisa... No hagas nada malo. No,
okay, wait. Can you guys help us out? If you're reading this, I'm happy you're alive. Put it down in the comments. And because you have to put it in like a way that it sounds good in Spanish, like we don't need to translate it word for word. Because then
si estás leyendo esto, estoy contento que estás feliz.
¿Qué?
Vivo.
You need to go to Spanish
No,
class.
Or we could just, like you said, it doesn't have to be word for word. Estoy contento que estás... Estoy contento de que estés vivo. Viva con just in the back. Estoy contento que estés vivo. No?
Maybe. That sounds a little cringe. But let us know. Yeah, like can you say it in a way where...
You think mental health is cringe?
No. Oh my God. Anyways,
I'm in that mood today. I'm in a silly, goofy mood.
I don't like when Jonathan gets in this mood because he calls me out for everything, but
But it's plain, guys. I love my wife. She's so beautiful. Look at her. Anyways, baby, tell them what we got going on today with the Q&A.
It's not even a Q&A. It was just recommendations for podcast topics because we want to actually save this in a file in our brain because we just want to talk about what you guys actually want to listen to. And we have noticed that in the past couple of podcasts, it's been very much parent talk. Yeah. And I can't say much. I'm literally like a mom and you're a dad and we're doing this again. But yeah, we want to, bring more topics into the space and talk about more things because I feel like when we started, we used to talk a lot about our toxic past and and
it would help you guys
actually spill the beans, and we haven't even done advice questions in a long time, so we're going to start going a little bit more into that.
Dude, I swear, guys, we're not lying or, I handle sometimes more of the social media and sometimes the DMs just like I'll see a DM and I'm like, okay, I'm going to read this one next week. Boom. Like I can't find it to save my freaking life anymore. So I'm sorry. Like usually if you're new to this, if I open up your DM on Instagram and I just heart it, it's because we're going to read it in the coming week. So don't take it as like, oh, he just left me on red or they just left me on red or whatever. No, if you get a heart, it's because, oh, this was really interesting. We're just going to, instead of giving you that big, long paragraph on your DM, we're going to talk about it on the podcast. So I'm sorry if I know I've hearted some and then I just can't find them. Thank you to HelloFresh for sponsoring today's episode.
With the holidays right around the corner, let HelloFresh take the stress off your back by delivering tasty meals to your door.
The holiday seasons can be hectic, and that's where HelloFresh 15-minute meals come into play. These quick fixes help you get a wholesome meal on the table in less time than it takes to get delivery.
I personally love HelloFresh because when it comes to dinner time, I do not have to think about anything. I already have the ingredients and it takes less than 15 minutes to cook.
And I love HelloFresh because sometimes, guys, I'm starving. So being able to get a meal in 15 minutes is wonderful. Go to HelloFresh.com/spillthebeansfree and use code SpillTheBeansFree for free breakfast for life. One breakfast item per box while subscription is active.
That's free breakfast for life at HelloFresh.com/spillthebeansfree with code SpillTheBeansFree.
HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit.
Let's go ahead and get started. There's a lot of topics that want us to dive in a little bit about therapy and more so in your background, babe, about why you went to therapy and also if you have mommy issues, because you know how you talk
again.
Can you just give them a little background about how I guess just like update them how your relationship has improved with your mom, because a lot of people want to know, obviously not details about what happened with you and her, but just like a little brief background story.
So why I got therapy, or or how me and my mom are? Which one do you want? I got therapy because I was a bad boyfriend. And I had
be honest, baby. No, when you went to therapy, did you say, "Oh, it's because I was bad to her," or did you go to therapy because you knew you needed help because you had anger issues? It's
not anger issues, baby. It was overthinking and anxiety. Sorry. Guys, I was the world's biggest overthinker, and you know, a lot of you guys can relate because I do get DMs a lot. Like, Jonathan, I overthink too. Like, you'll just be chilling, right? You'll be in school. You'll be writing, and all of a sudden, a thought comes to your head.
POV, this is actually what happened.
And then you're like, what the hell? Like, oh, she's definitely cheated on me. Now that makes sense, you know? But I'm going to take Blanca into example, but it wasn't just Blanca. It was stress all around my life. Sports, friends, school. You know, I was a big nerd, so scholarships, writing to get into school without having to pay. So any little thing that would trigger my overthinking, I just never knew how to control it. I would just get angrier and angrier, and I would bottle it up. And then sometimes Miss over here would have the stupidest answers to my overthinkingness, and I'd be like, "Why'd you?" I don't remember, or I don't know. So then that would trigger me even more, you know. And it's okay. Like, I'm not blaming her, because at the end of the day, lo que no es del presente.
Lo que no pasó en tu año no te hace daño.
Yeah, but it wasn't only that. It was just like overall, Julissa sometimes se le iba las canicas, you know, según ella.
All the time.
So then, and then with school, I was like, I can't control my future. So I was like, I need therapy. Like, there's no way that I'm going to let this like monster, like this overthinking monster anxiety, like control my life forever. You know, like, that's bad. Like, I want to have kids, and I'm not going to be lashing out on my kids. I'm not going to be doing this. Like, that's bad. So I told my mom. And I was like, oh, at the same time, I had really bad sleep apnea. So I couldn't sleep at night unless your boy. No. Yeah, it was when I graduated, right?
High school? I mean.
I wasn't in high school when I got therapy.
Oh, no.
Okay, yeah. So then I would pop edibles to sleep at night. No, I didn't like them to get high. No, I would literally pop an edible. As soon as I felt sleepy, I would just pass out. That's the only way I could sleep at night. So one time I told my mom, I was like, hey, Mom, I'm doing drugs because I can't sleep, blah, blah, blah. So then she's like, okay, it's because of your anxiety. You can't sleep. Therefore, you need therapy. So then she got me in contact with one of her friends, sweetest, nicest, most best therapist ever. She literally looked like an older version of the girl from Vampire Diaries, Nina, whatever.
Oh.
She was really nice, and she was like from like Brazil. So she had like the sweetest accent. She was just a nice person. And so yeah, you do like therapy. I'm gonna let you guys into my thing, because I feel like therapy gets a really bad rep. Like, you think you're in a room. Like, there's really shitty shows and movies that make therapy look so stupid, but you think you're like on these funny chairs laying down. And yes, a lot of them are, or your therapist thinks it's better for you to. No, I'm just sitting there. And she has, what I liked about her is that it wasn't just talking. Like, I'm not a good listener. So what would she have me do? She would have me do a lot of exercises that involved like machines. So she would make me put headphones on, and the headphones that she's actually the one that introduced me into the number 8, D, the letter D, music. For those that don't know, guys, that is life-saving. 8D music. Look it up on Spotify. So put your favorite song and then put 8D. Have you heard of that?
No.
You don't know what 8D music is?
No. I've been married to you for how long, and you have never told me
No way. Okay, guys, pause this podcast right now and go to Spotify and put 8D music. Well, essentially, it's like your favorite song. It's a normal music, Drake, Taylor Swift, whatever, Peso Pluma. But then it goes, oh my God, this is so cool. I can't even explain it. It goes into your left ear, and then it moves into your right ear. And then it moves into your left, and then your right. And then maybe his vocals stay on his right, but then the beat goes on the left. Wow. So you're just like meditating while listening to music. And it's amazing, guys. I love 8D music. And so she had me do that. She had other little machines where like I was supposed to hold almost como toques, but like that made me close my eyes and envision. We did a lot of like envisioning, like, okay, where are you now? And then I'd be like, I'm on the beach, like in Washington, like the state. I've always loved like that twilight beach, you know, cold. And she's like, okay, dig your toes into the sand and this and that. And like, And then she would do like, okay, next time you feel anxiety, overthinking, like tap your stomach and rub your head, which is like kind of hard to do for the average person. Like I still can't do it, but like it's the fact that you're confusing your brain to like focus on this instead of its anxiety, you know? Yeah. So whatever, long story short, guys, if you find a therapist like that, it's amazing. And it was life-changing. Anyways, I take all this that I learned and I not cure my anxiety because I still have a lot of anxiety, but at least it was solved towards my spouse. Because something I would tell my therapist, I was like, I know my girlfriend is a good person. Like she's the best. She's the most amazing person, but she just, my anger just like, I can't control it. So she kind of like, okay, let's target this. And she honestly made my relationship with Blanca 1,000 times better. It's almost like a 360, you know, like I got out of therapy, we got back together, and I can even see myself in pictures. Like I was just like that marriage license picture. Yeah. When I proposed to you pictures, like I'm just, my smile looks like more genuine. Like I'm actually happy. And I was like, oh, wow. So yeah, that was my therapy.
We can dig into that though, babe, because I think it was so crazy because Jonathan and I broke up, right? And we talk about this all the time. We thought it was the last time we were ever going to see each other. He moved to Texas. So I was like, great, I'm never going to have to see him.
AD music only works with headphones, guys. So don't try to listen to it in your car. Noise canceling headphones preferred, but I had normal headphones at the time. But just letting you know, don't put it in your car right now because it's not going to work.
So don't click out of the podcast.
No, don't click.
But when we broke up, we thought we were done forever. I thought Jonathan was never going to move back to Colorado, which was amazing for me, you know, because I would always see him. Literally, like we would drive down Kempra. If you guys live in Longmont, you know, I would drive down Kempra and I would just see his stupid car driving the other way, you know, and literally, oh my God, so annoying. So when he moved, I was like, oh, for sure, like we're done. So when he came back and he called me and I was like, wait, but what? You're supposed to be in Texas and no, whatever. I was used to it, right? I was used to him being like, oh yeah, I changed. I'm this, I'm that. And I remember just being like, but in 2 weeks, you're going to be just the same, you know? And I think that it's crazy because you still had the same feelings and you would still overthink and get anxiety, but you just knew how to deal with it instead of lashing out at me right at the time, you know? So after 2, 4, 6 weeks passed, I was like, oh shit, like this guy's for real, you know, like he's not switching on me. But it was also because I had set boundaries, you know, and I hadn't gone to therapy, but I just set boundaries and we kind of put all the cards on the table and we're like, well, this is what we want. And prior to this, guys, before Jonathan and I broke up, I think the whole year before that, when we were like in a really, really deeply toxic relationship, I kept telling you, like I want to get married, like you need to propose, we need to get engaged. And you were always like, why are you like forcing me? Like, why are you talking about it so much? It's gonna happen when it happens, you know? And now I cringe at it because I'm like, dude, I was 18 trying to get married. Like, who the hell am I? And so from him like healing through therapy, and then we got back together.
Sorry, babe, sorry.
It's okay.
I didn't mean that. Sorry, I know it triggers you. I tapped your shoe by accident.
From him going to therapy to us getting engaged, it was like almost 7 months. But that was insane because from then on, it's like, I don't know, I just saw him in a different light because I was like, damn, like you don't get mad easy. You don't explode. Like this is when you started if we get mad at each other, you get over it like in 15 minutes. Yeah. And I don't, you know? So.
Oh, how the turntables.
Literally. So, that was just a really, really crazy switch for me. So that's when I was like, oh damn, like this guy's for real. Like maybe we are going to get married, but I never brought it up again. The marriage question or the engagement.
After I came back?
Yeah. After we got back together, never brought it up again. And then, so when he proposed to me, like, I feel like we were both in the perfect spot where we're like, okay, this is forever. And we've always talked about it, you know, why are we going to wait, whatever, this and that. And so when he proposed to me, I was genuinely shocked. And it was insane because right then and there, like there were no, oh my God, should I say yes or no? Because if he had proposed a year prior to that, I would have been like, oh fuck, you know, like what are we doing? Because we both were still very toxic. So yeah, and that's young. Yeah, and young. And that's how therapy literally married us. Yeah. And now that like jumping to now, I think that therapy is still helpful because now it will help us stay in the marriage. You know, I was listening to Stacey's podcast the other day with her mom, and she's like, marriage is the toughest relationship you will ever have with someone. And I'm like, that's true. I think it's true.
No, I know, but like, what other relationship we're gonna
like brother and sister, mom and son, boyfriend and girlfriend. I could have
told you that, bro.
Well, I'm saying that I heard it from her. You've never said it before.
No, but I'm saying like, no, never mind. Shout out to Stacy.
Bro, you good?
I'm just saying like I could have told you that. That shit's hard, you know?
No, yeah, but I'm saying like no one has ever said it that way. Like you've never said, oh yeah, this is the toughest relationship we'll ever have. Because it's like you're supposed to, when you get married, you think it's going to be the most beautiful relationship you're ever going to have. No, but
you're also, it's the one person you spend time with the most.
Yeah, like, and the way that they were talking about it, they're like, it's like a stranger, you know, like you're not bonded by blood. You don't know anything about them. They come from completely different backgrounds. So I'm like, oh damn, that's true. And that's why a lot of people, like, you don't need to go through traumatic experiences to get therapy, because it helps you through just regular mundane things, you know?
Yeah. It's crazy, guys. Like, I was talking to, who did I just see? I think my brother. No, my Marco. Anyways, I was talking to him about therapy, and I was like, I know someone, I'm not going to disclose who they are, but they're shy, they're quiet, they're the quiet type of dude. And he started going to therapy, and the next time I saw him, big change in like personality, more loud, more. So really, guys, you don't like, therapy doesn't have to be because you're traumatized, because something happened to you when you were younger. No. If you're shy and you're not confident, you can go to therapy. If you struggle with self, like you don't like your body, then you can go. You know, it doesn't have to be things like this happened to me when I was little. This happened with me and my mom. Like, no. It can just be like a touch up. Like, you know how people get pedicures and like their face, what's it called, facials, like that can be for your spirit and for your soul and for your mental.
And just because sometimes you just need someone that's not biased to tell you things, you know, because I could go to Jonathan for advice and he's gonna be biased. So if I go to someone that doesn't actually know anybody in my personal life, then they're gonna give me a 2 cents in like a stranger's point of view, you know. So that's what we really encourage therapy, and where we're going to therapy.
Yeah. Hopefully you guys, that was fun. Like we integrated therapy, but we made it fun with like our toxic selves when we were younger.
Yeah, that's crazy how therapy changed our relationship. So anyways, piggybacking back off of that, do you want to talk a little bit about your relationship with your mom?
Yeah, I'm not going to touch too much into it, guys, but basically, not because I don't want to, it's quite simple. Being a parent has really changed my overall view. I think when you become a dad or a mom, it really like puts yourself into other people's shoes, you know? So with my mom, yeah, she did like bad things to me or harsh things to me or raising up, whatever. But I completely forgive her because it was her first time being a mom too, you know? And at that, a very young mom in a different country. If she would have raised me in our rancho with her mom, then yeah, at least she has like mentoring or guideship. But my mom was by herself because my dad worked all day, by herself in a different country. And my mom's always been a very ambitious person. So imagine she was literally valedictorian of her, like in high school, la prepa, very smart young woman, aspirations to go to college, super, like my mom is very smart, guys. Like she took her, what's the SAT, but the other one, ACT? No.
SAT and
SAT, no, the other one.
ACT.
And she took it here after studying for 3 years, guys, very little English, and she got a 31 on it, I think, and the highest you can get is 33. Me knowing here and me being a nerd, I got a 26 or 28. So that just tells you how smart my mom is. So imagine you take this very smart, creative, ambitious woman and you stick her in a trailer park all day with this new kid and no mom or mentorship,
no help
or love, you know, then how do you want her to react, you know? So obviously my mom faced a lot of trauma, so I have to put myself in her shoes and accept that whatever went down, it's different because she's a changed woman. And, you know, so honestly, yeah, having Franco really changed my whole views about her. Like, I really appreciate her now. I try to like not get so mad because we're literally the same person. If you put a wig on my mom, if you put a wig on me, we're literally the same person in terms of like attitude and like I don't know, like
on everything.
Like I can fool the person next to me, but I can't fool my mom, and she can't fool me. And I obviously me hago, but like I know what she's trying to do, you know. So and same thing with her, with me. So I feel like that's why obviously we clash heads a lot. But no, honestly, having a son has really opened my eyes up to like shit. Like being a parent's hard, and especially your first time, you know.
Yeah, and especially in those times, because I always talk about how we're turning into our parents slowly, and how they're always like, you're gonna see when you have your kids, and we would always be like, see what, girl, you know. And now I'm like, oh shit, like you really do see when you have your own kids. And it goes with everything, like, but if you're over there judging a silver-toothed kid, you know, and you're like, I would never let my son do that, and then you become a mom to us and you're like, fudge, like he can't sit still, you know. So everything does change when you have kids, and if you don't have them, then how do you think that even works? What? Like people that don't have kids, like they just don't want kids and never have kids. Yeah. You think they just never become or get that understanding?
No, I think those people are sometimes more like understanding. When people say we don't want kids, usually, I mean, the people I've interacted with are very nice people.
Yeah. I think so too.
Like they love kids. They just don't want their
own. And they're very good with kids too. So yeah, I think it all has to do with having your own kids, and or just putting yourself in your parents' shoes and being more self-aware in the sense that they didn't have what you have now. Like I sit here and I'm like, a lot of our parents didn't have a village, you know. They didn't have all these people to help them, all these people to hang out with, all these people to go out with. So I think that's why there's like a huge understanding there
or even like social media, guys. Like imagine
exactly.
Like I understand some of you guys are like, well, Julissa, Jonathan, I don't have my mom like you guys do. I don't have friends like you guys do. But like you have social media, which at the end of the day still doesn't leave you as lonely. Like sometimes I picture my poor mom, like my dad was working, we were in a shitty little trailer park, and it's just me and her, like all stuck by ourselves. And like, con qué se entretiene ella? Yeah. You know? Usually moms nowadays, you can put your kid on the TV and maybe you hop on Twitter, you hop on Instagram, TikToks, you know, you're laughing and your kid's having fun with toys. But what were moms doing back then?
Just
the
cleaning.
Phone's still connected to a line or whatever, just cleaning, waiting for your husband to get home. And most of the time back then, husbands were super toxic. So your husband comes home, you feed him, and you don't even go out sometimes. So like, honestly, just I really appreciate my mom now for everything she's done. And at the end of the day, you know, there was still some things that didn't have to happen or could have been different. But at the end of the day, like I turned out all right, you know. I mean, not sometimes mentally not, but you know what I mean? Like I'm still like, I'm a good citizen. I love people. I love friends. I love dogs. I love like, I'm not a serial killer, you know?
Yeah. I think that a lot has to do with the way that you perceive things. Like the way that Jonathan and I had always talked about it was that Jonathan was very anxious because he would always think about things that he couldn't control, like things that you literally cannot control. And maybe because you were a little bit of a control freak, you wanted everything to be done your way. So it's like it's like that saying goes, if you think about the past, you get
anxiety,
depressed.
Oh yeah.
And because you can't change the things. And then if you think about the future, you get anxiety because you're just waiting to see what's going to happen tomorrow, the next day. But if you live in the present, which sounds so cliche, it sounds so like, oh, duh, why wouldn't you just do that? But if you live in the present, then you literally just focus on the present.
Like day to day.
Yeah, day to day life. Like you're focused on what you're eating today and not like what are you doing next week? That's going to help you.
And you know what I learned?
Next year.
It's because that's a bad thing with social media, guys, that like, you literally have 2 Catholic priests, right, on TikTok, but they're saying different things. So who knows who's right or wrong, right? Mm-hmm. But I saw this thing that from this Christian TikToker, and it said, did you know that having anxiety is actually like, it's disrespectful towards God. So my anxiety is disrespect. I'm sure he didn't mean it like that, but he's saying you're not believing and you're not trusting God that everything's going to be okay. Mm-hmm. Or when you manifest or when you say, I'm going to do this. No. God knows what he's going to do with you and he has a plan with you. So stop being anxious. That's disrespectful towards God. So I was like, okay,
bet. I'm done. Turn off the anxiety.
I'm not paying my bills.
No, yeah. I think that had a lot to do with Jonathan's anxiety. And guys, growing up, and even now, I can say that I've never experienced anxiety in that sense. Like right now, I get anxiety while I drive, which is weird because I'm just like anxious to get home to Franco or to get home safe. But I this is one of the reasons I'm starting therapy because I think that I'm either bottling everything up and I'm going to explode one day, or something's deeply wrong with me or deeply right with me, in the sense that I've been through so much crap that obviously I don't want anyone to feel pity for me, but I've been through a lot, and I can like genuinely say that I just go about my days. You know, like sometimes I'll be a little bit sad, some days I'll be a little bit more down than usual, but I don't really think, like, I always talk about this. Jonathan's like, what do you think about? And I'm like, I don't think about anything. Like, if I'm sitting here, all I'm thinking about is filming this podcast and what I'm going to say next. And when I wake up in the morning, all I'm thinking about is me laying there in bed with Franco. And then I'm like, okay, now I'm going to get up and go brush my teeth, I guess, you know, but I'm never thinking about what I have to do today or what I have to do tomorrow, nothing. So I truly think that I'm one of the people that lives the day as a present. Like, I just don't overthink anything about my days or my life. So I think that that's either very good or very bad, because I don't know if I'm just a ticking time bomb and I'm going to explode one day, or if it's just like fine, because I feel like I also don't have weird coping mechanisms, you know, like I don't think that I'm addicted to anything. Would you say there's something that I do to like self-help ways?
No, I think that you said it right. Like, you ignore it, and that's bad.
Yeah,
like
there you
when
go.
At night, when you're like, okay, Franco's down for bed, he's showered, and I'm like, okay, what do you want to do? You're like, I just want to watch TikToks for an hour or two, and this is my time. And I was like, okay, like, just bet, you know, I'll watch football or something. But I think you could be actively doing something to help yourself, or like, I feel like that time's for you, right? You're gonna have that time regardless at the end of the day. But what I'm saying is that, like, I feel like that's your coping mechanism. Give me time to see my TikToks when you could like be talking to a therapist. You know?
True. Yeah, I think. Yeah, so that's why definitely I'm going to therapy, because
like you're ignoring it.
Yeah, I think I guess that is my coping mechanism. I ignore everything until I have it standing right in my face. Yeah. You know, like,
that's bad.
Yeah, I guess that is really
and
bad.
I prepare. It gives me anxiety, but at least I prepare for it.
Yeah, and for me, it's like I've been doing this so like throughout my entire life that like I'm still pretty happy, you know?
Pretty happy, babe, down.
Like peaceful, kind of. And it's sad, because although I think I do need someone to talk to, because there's a lot of things that happen in my life behind the scenes that I can't talk to just anybody about, you know, that it's like only in this household knows what happens. So I think I definitely need to see someone about that, so I could just let everything out and come up with new coping mechanisms. Like, I feel like I can definitely be journaling at night. I can be like doing more self-help things and listening to more because on TikTok I just watch people organizing their house, you know.
Oh, what's her name? The white girl you watch?
Alex.
Yeah, instead of just watching Alex Earl.
Instead of watching Alex Earl spending a week in the Bahamas with her NFL boyfriend.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah, I think that that's definitely a reason. Like, if I sit here, like, yeah, I do have traumas, but I'm not actively, like, depressed or anxious about anything. And I still, like, you guys can see that there's still something in me that needs therapy. Yeah. You know?
And it's okay, guys. Like, I know what a lot of you guys are thinking right now. Like, you literally have Jonathan right there. Why doesn't he help you? And the only way I can perfectly say this, and it's like a TikTok. Have you seen a TikTok where it's the girl, it's like sped up, it's a funny, like, it's a voiceover, and the girl's like, me talking shit about my family, and then the husband's like, yeah, right, and then she's like, shut the fuck up, or something like that. Like, only you're allowed. So I've experienced that firsthand, where like Blanca has problems with her family, and then I try to butt in, and she's like, no one freaking asked, you know.
First of all, shut up.
You know, because it's her family.
That TikTok, it's like something, oh, she's not real, and then I think she's ugly.
Oh, yeah,
like whoa, okay. Well, I didn't mean it that way.
Yeah. So then I was like, no, there's things where your husband, your wife, no, it has to come from a therapist. Because say, I don't know, I'm going to give you an example. Say you have a bad relationship with your mom and your husband says you do. Oh, that's the end of the world. But if it comes from a therapist, then it's like, oh, okay. Like, okay, it's not just my husband being a dumbass. Like,
no, and that's still keeping your relationship with your husband
and it keeps our relationship healthy. Perfect. Well said, babe.
Thanks. So another question that I got a lot, babe.
Okay.
You're probably not gonna like this very much. It's just asking if you can talk about another story of when you were toxic, because everyone loves those.
Nah.
They're saying it's because they're so funny.
Oh, so you think my trauma's funny, huh? No, I'm kidding.
Look, more of Jonathan's toxic chronicles. They're funny.
Let me whip out a funny one here. Yeah, guys, I was down bad. Like, it's embarrassing how down bad I was. Like, it was mixture with like, obviously when you're Mexican, things get heightened 10 times, right? You have toxic male figures. It's not my dad. My dad was always a good guy, but uncles, I had uncles, friends, cousins, you know, they tell you like, te vas a dejar, like, oh, this and that. As a man, you better do this, and you know. So then you mix that with like already your genes. You know, I have alcoholism in my family. I have machismo in my family, and then you mix it with like your status, right? I've always been like, you know, good grades, Jonathan, varsity, Jonathan, this and that. So I was like, a mí nadie me va a ver la cara de pendejo, you know, especially this little freaking bean girl over here. No, I'm kidding. But so I would be like, you know what? Like, so I was just, it was a bad mix up, guys, and it was really toxic. So let me think of a story. Like, do you have any stories that pop up to your head? I mean, we have a lot, but some of them are too like cringe. I'm not gonna talk about them.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't say this was, yeah, actually I would say this was kind of toxic. I'd say, so Jonathan and I went to rival schools kind of, and everybody at your school hated my school, and everybody at my school hated your school, and we would all talk shit about each other, right? So then Jonathan, what he would do is, it was in a way of him being toxic, in a way of him having anger issues, and in a way that like he would just shut down. But I just remember the time when you played my school, and I think you lost.
Your school, or was it prom or homecoming? When you asked me to homecoming.
No, it was, I don't remember. You had played, I don't know if it was my school or your school, but point is that they lost, right? And I feel like in my head, right, and me watching High School Musical growing up, I was like, well, when a boyfriend loses a game, they just want to go to their girlfriend for comfort.
Ew,
you know, like they just want to
nah.
go and like hang out with the girlfriend. Let's just go get like a Starbucks or something and like hang out and not talk about the big loss, whatever. And I remember, guys, Jonathan and his team lose. And I'm walking up to him.
It wasn't the playoffs?
Maybe. I'm walking up to him on the field, and guess what he does? He ignores me, walks to his car, and drives off. Ahí me dejó como mensa idiota.
Really?
Yeah. And I remember this because obviously like it made me feel like shit, and because I had to get a ride home.
No way, babe.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. See, guys, this is stuff like where, you know, when your brain, when you
shut things off.
yeah, when your brain shuts things
Si no me
off.
acuerdo, no pasó.
Yeah, but not like in a like, oh, me conviene type of way. Like, it's like
cringe.
It's like cringe, or like your body's trying to like save you from it. So a lot of the things that Blanca sometimes brings up and we laugh about now, yeah, I'll laugh for like a quick second, but then I genuinely get sad that I was like that, because I was like, damn, like she did not deserve to be like me, treat her like that. And second, like that's disrespectful. As like, even like take away from a like girlfriend or boyfriend, like just a disrespectful human I was, like that. Like, let's just say it was a stranger said, hey, I'll give you a ride after.
Yeah.
And then he just leaves.
Yeah.
Like, that's a disrespectful person. And I was like that, guys. And but I could get away with it because everyone else loved me, right?
Yeah.
My soccer coach, the principal, everyone loved me because I was just that guy, you know? So then, but then I'm over here treating the one person that I should be treating like a queen, like shit, you know? And, but look, obviously we lost the game. I was very competitive. You guys know me, you know, I bring it up all the time.
And I'm pretty sure it was your senior year too, which would mattered because it was your last year playing.
I was really good at soccer. I was captain. And I didn't take soccer like, oh, it's just a game, let's go have fun. I would see all the white kids, you know, get ice cream after with their parents. Like, no, fuck no. If even if we won, but I didn't play good, I would still be mad. That's how competitive I was. And there's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, I shouldn't have like taken it on you. So yeah. Guys, I cringe sometimes. Like, that's fucked up, you know. And I wish I could punch myself. I could go back in time and punch myself. And
me too.
Yeah, it's not okay. Like, that's not okay.
Yeah, and I remember like se te bajó probably the next day because you were pretty upset the whole time. And I just remember telling you like, just tell me, hey, can we not talk about it? Or hey, I don't want to hang out. But like, you literally left me there. Yeah. You know, so I was like, how am I going to get from one side of town to the other side of town?
But at the end of the day, babe, like, quien fuera que me hubiera tocado, like, yeah, it happened to you, but I don't want you to think it was because of you, you know?
Yeah, but
like, if I would have been dating Jessica Ashley. You know what? I'm naming random names like.
Oh, are they random?
No, you know what I mean? Like I always say Jessica, if you guys have noticed. But like again, the little Mexican girl that I would have been dating at the moment, that would have happened to her.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying, and that's what I would always tell Jonathan. It's like, I'm the person you're supposed to treat the best, and I'm the one you treat the worst, and that's why he got away with a lot, because I remember I would like talk to my friends, I would talk to his friends' girlfriends, and they'd be like, Jonathan, like he doesn't, like he looks so nice, he's this, he's that, and that's because he never showed his toxic side to everybody else. Like no one was ever just like no one would get on your bad side, you know, and that's why I think that he got away with it, because I would talk to people and they'd be like, oh, like, you know, he was probably just having a rough day, whatever. And I'd be like, oh yeah, you know, I'll forgive him, or I'll text him and I'll ask for forgiveness, you know. So yeah.
No, babe, but you were supposed to share a funny one, and that made me sad.
Oh, what? I think it's just
funny
like,
now, right? But you know, like
yeah.
como dicen, todo te lo vas a cobrar, and that's why I'm determined to raise a confident,
strong.
Like I want my daughter to be a bitch, if that's what they call them nowadays.
I think that I've seen it with your sister, that I just feel like your dad is a very, very good dad, and I don't see that. Like for me, obviously, I needed reassurance from you a lot. I was dependent on you, but I don't see that your sister needs that. Like she knows she's beautiful, she knows she's smart, she knows like she doesn't need anyone to get it for her, because her dad got her, you know. And I'm glad to know that I chose that type of parent for my kids, and I know that my baby girl's gonna grow up and be like, oh, dude, my dad takes me out on Saturday to get my nails done, and you think I'm gonna go with you and you don't want to buy me an ice cream? I do it with her
sisters. Like I know all the tea with her sisters, and I pick her up. I'll be like, what happened? Like spill the tea, and then they'll tell me, they're like, well, this and this happened with my partner or whatever. I'll be like, girl, like you're supposed to be like getting treated like a queen. Like I'll literally talk to them like if I was a girl, guys, and they'll be like, you're right, you know, this and that. Yeah. So then I'll be like, if I'm like that with her sisters, imagine my own daughter, you know? Yeah.
So I think that, and raising Franco to not be a freaking
that's a tough one, guys, because like
his dad.
Yeah. It's because in that moment I could have had the best influence in my life, and they could have told me like, don't do girls like that, but it's just that self little ego that you have there, you know. It just fuels with fire, and you're just like, no, like I can get girls, so why would I put up with one, you know? So
oh, that was your reasoning? You can get girls.
One of them.
So why should I put up with you, little
just one of them. But anyways, do we have any more? I'll think of them, because we do have a lot. Like that one was one.
If like funny ones, I think I just always think about that Dairy Queen one. That one's just so hilarious.
That one always comes to my head.
I mean, we've talked about the fish one all the time.
Yeah, the fish one's funny. I feel like we should clip the fish one and put it on TikTok. That go
Wait,
viral.
what do you remember where we talked about it?
No, but that picture of me is so stupid. I literally looked like the girl from Finding Nemo.
I know, poor fish. R.I.P. What's another one? It's because Jonathan, like, I think, and you kind of are still a little bit like this, where you have a very compulsive attitude. Like for me, the way that I see it, it's like you'd mejor pides perdón. You know, like you'd rather, like you don't mind doing things in the moment because you're like, I know, like I can apologize later. So you don't think about that. Because every time we argue, babe, I know babe, that you could have saved yourself all of this if you just would have thought about it before you said it. But now you're sitting here telling me I'm sorry because I said it.
But I don't mean it like oh, she loves me, I'm gonna apologize later. No. Because I'm also very into, if we're gonna make up in 5 days, why fight for 5 days? You know what I mean? I'm not like that. So if I do something, it's because I genuinely mean, like I feel something. You know?
Okay.
So then what I think you're trying to say is that, like, I don't know, compulsive? Yeah, I'm not compulsive.
Compulsive.
You know,
like,
how I have to tell you,
explosive?
Like, if you have last minute plans, I'm like, no, babe, I need a week para el baile. Like, give me a week to mentally prepare.
I don't even know. I think
explosive
then, because yeah, and it was way worse back then. Like, if I said one wrong thing, if I did one wrong thing, oh, I can tell them one thing.
What? No, babe, chill.
I just remember this time, it was so, like, I remember being in the car and, like, looking at the window and mad. And I was like, is he being funny? Is he, like, being serious right now? So we're just driving down Main Street.
Babe, stop.
And
what are you going to say?
We were in your black Audi. I remember. Babe, that car has a lot of bad memories,
I was literally,
guys,
disclaimer, put a disclaimer
16.
here. I'm 15 years old.
16.
16. Okay.
And we were driving down Main Street. And I was just like reading the signs, right?
Babe, stop.
And I think we were already...
No, I already know what you're going to say. No, that's too much. I mean, not too much that you can't... But I think you're exaggerating.
Oh, no, it's not.
Oh.
We were already kind of like tense. And remember, I looked at him and I was like, are you ever just bored and like you read every single building that you come across?
Were we fighting?
We were kind of arguing.
Oh, okay.
And he looked at me and he's like, oh, so I'm boring now? Like you're bored of me? And I started this whole argument.
Babe, you're tripping.
No, babe, it's a core memory because we were driving somewhere important and that's why I got mad.
Oh, where? If it's so important.
Do you want me to tell them? That's cringe.
At 16?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was after I had gotten on birth control.
Okay. Yo, basically already said it.
Well, I think I was driving. He was driving me to the clinic, and I started a huge argument, and you were like, "So now you're saying that I'm bored?"
Babe.
Like, yes, babe.
Swear on your
I swear, pinky promise.
Oh damn, that's
I
cringe.
started a really big argument, and I was like, I literally just said that I was reading. Like, what else could we be doing right now? You know, because we were a little tense. And yeah, and this is what Jonathan would do. He would get mad, and he would just not talk to me. He would drive freaking fast and drop me off and talk to me like in 2 days.
Okay, guys, it sounds exaggerated, but maybe like you said it weird. Like, do you ever just feel bored? Like, I mean, how do you say that to us? Because we were dating 16. That means less than a year or a year. No, we were doing freaky stuff, so a year.
Yeah,
And
over a year.
Yeah, so then that means you're still kind of fresh to tell your fresh boyfriend you're bored.
Bruh,
I know, no, I'm just giving myself the benefit of the doubt. Honestly, yeah, that was fucked up.
But yeah, I think it was just like a lot. Like I would say things that would trigger Jonathan and be like, I don't know. I feel like you just never wanted your time to be wasted. And you grew up with that mentality, like, don't let these girls waste your time, blah, blah, blah. So then any time that I would say something like that, he'd be like, oh, so you're bored? So I'm doing this for nothing? So I'm, so.
Yeah, but also, guys, like, there was the machismo part of it, but then there was also the me seeing my guy friends be complete, like, fools over girls. Like, I had friends that would cry over girls. I had friends that would try to kill themselves over girls. I had friends that would publicly, back then when Facebook was popping, they would write paragraphs about, oh my God, I miss you. If you don't take me back, I'm so sorry. I'm like, oh, hell no. That could, like, that would make me cringe and be so disgusting. I'll be like, bro, you have no self-dignity.
And I would always tell Jonathan, like, and I'm not treating you like shit, and I'm not making you make these posts, and I'm not making you feel like that, but like, he would treat me the way that he wanted his friends to treat the girls that were hurting them. So, like, how does this benefit anybody, you know?
But I know a lot of you guys are mad at me, but just remember, guys, that was a long time ago me. I'm good now, you know?
Yeah, and also, like, mad at me for being like, why would you ever put up with that? But you guys have to also see where I was coming from. Yeah. Literally having no confidence, guys, no dignity, nothing, girl.
I think we should have some good moments, too. For every bad moment that Blanca had with me, or every story, there was probably 10, 15 good ones.
Yeah, and that's why it's like where I stayed.
We had boba in the mountains. We would drive. I would make her laugh every day.
Well, and it was also
because
growing up, like, my dad would not leave Lagma. Like, he would be like, hell no. He wouldn't even drive from one side of town to the other side of town because he was terrified of the cops. Like, I don't know. He's whatever. So with Jonathan, I experienced so much, like, just going to the mountains and, like, going to his soccer games, and it was cool to be a girlfriend of the varsity player, you know, like, and he was good looking and he had good grades, like, and I knew that girls liked him, you know, and I knew that girls wanted to be with him, and I knew that girls didn't like me because I was dating him, you know, but I was like, damn, like, I can't believe I put up with all that bullshit just because I wanted to be your girlfriend so bad.
That was the price.
So yeah, like, that's why.
No, but vice versa. I didn't know anything about Blanca when we met. But then I remember the next day, I think we had publicly started talking on Facebook, like
have started posting on our.
And I go profiles. And I eat lunch with my friends at school, and my friends were más, you know, vividillos. They were more like, they knew Naiwa, her rival school more. Like, I was like in a bubble. I came straight from a charter school to high school, so I didn't know a lot of people or anything. I just knew church people, and that's it. So my friends would be like, "Oh, you're talking to Julissa?" I'll be like, "Yeah, like." I mean, we're like, you know, on Messenger.
We're friends.
Like, like Julissa, like, you know, I'll be like, from Naiwa, I'll be like, yeah, like, and then that's when I saw her Instagram, and you had like the most followers ever from, like, at the time you had like 2,000, and 2,000 back then, guys, in 2015. 14?
When it was like a couple years after Instagram had started.
That was a lot. I'm talking, everyone had 200, 300, 400, 500. Julissa had 2,500. So she was kind of like really popular, but I didn't know that. So everyone was like, oh my God. So then I guess that's a good thing, because maybe I would have, I don't know. I mean, good and bad, because then I would have treated you more like a trophy, you know, like a trophy wife.
That would have been way better than like a toxic
No, but like,
girl,
you know,
thanks.
that it wouldn't have been from pure intentions. I would have been like, oh, I'm going to try to get this girl because everyone wants her. No, it was like, oh, like, I didn't know. That would have been way better, my boy. No, babe, hear me out. I would have been like, I just like her. I don't like her for how popular she is.
Oh yeah, you just like me for me.
I like you,
and
for you.
that's how it was with you. With Jonathan, it was the same, because I didn't know him, and when I met him, I was like, oh my God, this guy smells so good. He's like so cute, whatever. And then literally as I started to get to know him, I was like, oh, this is why they're mutual friends. Oh, he's a varsity. Oh, he's been in varsity since like all these things that kept coming for after I already like had that little interest in him. So that's why I fell like head first with him. And with Jonathan, like, keep in mind, he was, I don't know, like, he was just not with the times, you know, like, he was still on iFunny when we met.
know, when girls they like get you a guy with
no followers,
no
pictures on Instagram,
and doesn't, you know, like, I was that guy.
Yeah. And it sucks, because I started dating him as soon as he entered his like fuckboy era.
Yeah, like, I get into high school, I'm like, oh my God, like,
it was like, yeah, your second year of high school.
Yeah, I was like,
and that's when you started being able to go out with your friends, and like you experienced a whole bunch of things where I couldn't, because I wasn't allowed to go out, or I had a really early curfew. So yeah, I think that we just crossed paths at really shitty times.
Or the perfect time, honey.
The perfect time, I guess.
What time are we at?
Anyways. 57.
Okay, I think we should wrap it up. You have one more?
All right, guys. That is.
It looked like you wanted to ask one more.
No, I was going to go and check. There's a lot, but I'm going to screenshot them.
Because I feel like we did like really deep, long ones. Yeah.
Let me see.
I like how you guys have evolved too, like, with us, you know, like.
Yeah, they're not asking us our sex
positions. Yeah, I remember
anymore.
Every time you put a Q&A, favorite sex position. How many times a week? How many times a day? Whoa. Who's freakier? You know, and it'll be like, oh my God, like, can you guys ask? But now, like, we haven't even had to tell you anything, and we don't get those questions anymore.
Yeah. No, I feel like a lot of these are topics that you can actually talk for a while.
Okay, I feel like we get a lot of questions about this one, which is kind of weird, because I didn't think a lot of people cared about our dogs like they do. But this girl said, how are your doggies? I'm a dog mommy, so please give an update on them. Love you guys. Yeah, I feel like we don't really show Ozo and Chai. Like, we don't take pictures for Instagram anymore, which is sad, because they used to be our everything, you know, before Franco. But unfortunately, guys, and this is getting real, if you have a dog and once you have a kid, yes, you still love your dog, but your kid is like a love that you cannot explain, that you can only feel. So your dog does become a blur, you know? Do we still love Ozo and Chai? We love them. We cuddle with them. Now that their sisters live here with us, like, they're over the world. Literally, your sisters are her favorite human beings ever.
Yeah, they get a lot more attention now.
We still take them on walks to the park. We buy them treats. We do everything, but
they're still well taken care of. They're just not our main priority anymore, I would say.
But it's not like in a bad way. It's just like,
and I think that something that I'm really happy that we did was that we got dogs 2 years before we had Franco.
Oh yeah.
And we spent all of that time with them. I didn't train them. Jonathan trained them that whole time. And like, we have really well behaved, trained dogs. And we poured so much love and affection and discipline and all of this into their cubs for those 2 years that they are so stable right now, because they already had all of that, and we built a good foundation with them, and they respect not only us, but they respect Franco, which is insane. Like, they literally do not mess with him, and if he wants to pet them, they let him pet him. If he wants to play with them, they let him, but they're not over here like looking for him. They're not crossing his boundaries. So I'm really glad that we did that. But yeah, like, unfortunately right now, because we have a toddler and because we're pregnant, because we're going to have another newborn, they're not our main priority in that sense, but they're still prioritized in their grooming, the food, the vet, making sure that they get walked.
I think we probably drop $500 to $600 a month on the dogs.
Yeah, grooming dogs is so freaking expensive.
The groomers is
for
$220
no
guys a month for both of them, right? And then since there are two of them, the packets of food they get like probably once a week, once every 2 weeks. Plus we buy them the wet food, which is more expensive. Plus the treats, which is really expensive. Pooper scooper a month.
Because we really like to keep a clean yard for them in the back because Ozo's out there every single day. And we just know that they're getting like we're not pouring into their cup of love that much. Like we spend as much time as we can with them. But with my sisters, they're literally like,
oh yeah, they're over there.
Like Ozo and Chai have not been able to sleep on our bed for years, right? Since I got pregnant with Franco, they sleep on my sister's bed. So they're still getting so much love, you know? So
yeah. And please don't be quick to judge, guys. Like just like we say, don't judge a silver-toothed kid. Don't judge the kid yelling at the store. Don't judge the mom giving her son the iPad. Don't judge us for what, because you right now, you're probably looking at your dog. I will never love anything more than you. Or like, but when you have a kid and the son or daughter, oh my God, guys, like, I still love Ozo? But there's been times where Ozo or Chai knock Franco down because they're being too rough and they run. They run and they're like, fuck. Like,
and they don't even do it on purpose. Like, it's because they're playing.
But, you know, so we love our dogs. And sometimes I look at Ozo or I look at Chai, I'm like, just hang in there, bud. Like,
give us,
you know, once Franco grows up or the second baby grows up a little bit more, like I have plans on decking out the Jeep so we can go camping. Like I'm going to take them and we're going to have like solo trips and camp and let them run wild. So, you know, it's just temporary. They'll understand.
Yeah, but they're doing good. I mean, our dogs are doing really good.
You guys Ozo always makes an appearance, either if it's visual or sound. You guys can hear him. So he's doing great.
I get comments on my YouTube videos like, where are your dogs? Why don't you show them anymore? I'm like, they're here. It's just not like the main focus on my channel. Like I used to be a dog mom, you know, and like now I'm an actual mom.
Like if the girls are at school or her mom's not here, then they're with us, you know. Yeah. Obviously. But if the girls are here, they're up in the rooms with them.
Yeah, they don't care about us.
It's just like that type of love that little kids can give dogs, you know. Like with Magali and Jimena, it's unconditional. They grab them, they hold them, and with
they smell their ears and want to bite their paws. Like
so
I used to be like that.
Yeah.
But it just
and with me it's like, okay, Ozo, I love you, but if you act bad, I'm gonna yell at you or I'm gonna put you in timeout or whatever. So
not timeout.
Ozo gets timeout.
Yeah,
over there, you know, when he goes into the trash when he's not supposed to.
Yeah.
But overall, guys, they're wonderful dogs. Let's talk about golden doodles. Would I ever get a golden doodle again? Probably not. No.
That's the only type of dog I would ever get.
Well, we're getting a Doberman next,
babe. Be so for real. But anyways, guys, thank you guys for listening to this week's podcast. I hope you had a couple of quick laughs with our toxic stories. And you know, I hope that as the holidays are coming up, you guys are talking to your family, telling them that you love them, and trying to get out there as much as you possibly can before the sun goes down at 3 p.m. because that is very important.
If you made it this far, you're a freaking real one. Comment a turkey emoji for $50.
Period, King.
And follow Instagrams, Spill the Beans JJ, for the giveaway.
Where we announce the giveaway winner. But anyways, without further ado, thank you so much. We love you so much, and we will see you guys next week.
Later.
Yay Networks.